going on? I am at the Schumann Point natural area. It is a privately owned reserve on the edge of Lake Wallenpaupack here in northeastern Pennsylvania. And for as long as I've lived here, I have never come out here and checked this out. Sign that says something, can't read it. It's about 3 miles. It's going to take me up this hill away from the highway here, and then we're going to go out and kind of look at Lake Wallenpaupack. Pretty cool. I have a few minutes to do a hike, so I figured come out and check this out so we can. It is an absolutely gorgeous day. The highway back there is Route 590, and it takes you down into the town of Hawley and right to the northern end of Lake Wallenpaupack, which at one point was the largest lake entirely within the state of Pennsylvania. That's now held by Raystown Lake, and it has been for quite some time. That's out further west, which I've been to, and it is a gorgeous lake. The difference between two lakes, other than size, is that Wallenpaupack, they're both man-made lakes. Wallenpaupack, there's a lot of development around the lake, a lot of houses. The high school's up here. The high school I actually went to is up here. A lot of development around it. Raystown Lake is the exact opposite. Most of the shoreline of Raystown Lake, aside from a very few spots, is just left natural. So I think it's Talon Energy is the company that owns this, and before that it was PPL. But this was purchased, this little chunk of land, it's like 250 acres, just to have a natural spot that will always be here around the lake, which is very, very cool. But very interesting ecology here. Let me turn you around. It's kind of scrubby in here. Reminds me a little bit of Eels Preserve, which is up on Music Mountain. But this is a lot lower. I mean, the trees are a little bigger here. But there's a lot of oak. And these, which I'm going to find out what those are. A lot of moth. A lot of pine. A lot of birds. It's almost 11:30. It's not super early. But last night, it got down to like 32 degrees. It's been so warm. And it dropped down to freezing last night. But as you can see by that sky, it's gorgeous right now. So, found out what these are. These are chestnut oak or rock oak. I've seen the rock oaks before, but in the winter, so not without the leaves. So I don't get these over by where I am. So it's kind of cool to see those here. And there's chipmunks. Chipmunks are really active. They're really, really active. So I don't know. I mean, chestnut was really hit hard by a blight decades ago. I don't know if these are the same species, same variant. They seem like they're doing pretty good. They're pretty healthy, and there's a lot of them here, so that's good. And they are a ridge top tree, which, as you can see, I'm up on a ridge, so perfect spot for them. It looks like I'm about to give this little bit of elevation back that I gained to get down to the lake. I don't think the trail takes me right to the lake, but there are side trails that will get me down to the shore of the lake, so we'll definitely go check that out. And before you ask, there's no camping allowed in here. This is privately owned. No camping, no campfires, no overnight parking, nothing like that. And it does look like it'd be a nice place to camp, but nope, no such luck. All right, I am down off the ridge, and the trail looks like it keeps going that way. There's a little side trail here, it takes me down to the lake. So this is one of the narrower parts of the lake. Actually, I think this is a little cove in here. Yeah. I'm kind of precariously perched here. This little cove. And I think you get some better looks at the lake here. But this is beautiful. Glad I came out here. All right, leaving that little section. I'm gonna head along here. I know there's other trails. You stay about this distance off the lake, I think, for the next little ways. You can see the water right there. I'm surprised. I saw 2 people out here so far. There's like 6 cars in the parking lot. But I think this is the direction most people go, from what I understand, because there's that climb right off the bat. So people like to get that out of the way. So maybe I'm moving with people. I won't really see that group. I'll use that. Oh, this looks like a little more wide open spot right here. Let's see, is there me down here? Is there a path to get down there? Yes. That's a little better look. It's big. It's a big, big lake. It stretches from Hawley all the way down to Ledgedale, PA. And it takes, I don't know, half hour or 45 minutes to drive the length of it. It's a big lake. I have thought about coming out here with the kayak, but it's such a big lake that it gets really busy. It's a very popular area, as you can imagine, for boating and water skiing and swimming and partying. So it's not always the safest water to be on, but I'm pretty sure I could find a time of year where it's not quite as crowded and I get a little kayaking in there. It's never been really high on my list of places to kayak though, and you think it would be considering the size and how close it is. Ooh, mucky. Here's a little better look. walking down the lake. So I just pulled up some stats on this. It is 13 miles long. It's got 52 miles of shoreline. And at a maximum depth, it's 60 feet, roughly. Now, at one point, this wasn't here. It was man-made. So they flooded the town of Wilsonville to create this reservoir, this lake. And so there is on the opposite side, there's an area called the Wilsonville Visitor Center in honor of the town that was here. And this was completed in the 1920s. So I know 13 miles long doesn't seem like it should take a half hour or so to drive, but the road, it follows all these little contours and it winds in and out. It goes back and forth and back and forth. It is beautiful though. Now, in the middle of summer, if you're out here, it'd just be boats. Boats as far as you can see. And there's something out there. Can't tell what that is right there. Right there. It might just be a buoy, like a channel marker. It's kind of hard to tell at that distance. And then this island out here, that might be the island that they launched fireworks from. There's a couple of them along here. So on 4th of July, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to have a really big fireworks display here. And just as I turn off the camera, here comes a boat. It's probably a mile away right now. He's moving. Like he's heading out the island. Curious to see how it turns out. They've done a couple updates to the software on my phone, and I mean that's not the best zoom you can have on a phone, but curious to see how that turns out. It might be all grainy, and if it is, I apologize. I know it zooms the audio in, so the audio probably sounded a little funky there. Yeah, there's all kinds of accesses out to the lake here. This one's probably the best one so far. Gives you a real good look at the lake. So I'm guessing that white thing I was seeing before out here, that's just a channel marker. There's a bunch of them along here too. So as I'm hiking, a couple things popped in my mind. This is called Schumann Point Natural Area, and it makes me wonder if it's named after my old gym teacher. When I was in kindergarten, first grade, we had a gym teacher named Mr. Schumann, and it makes me wonder if it's named after him or someone in his family, because I did go to the Wallenpaupack area school district, which is right around the lake here, and that is, and the more I think about it, probably one of the reasons why this has never been really high on my list of interests, because growing up I just was used to the lake. It was always there. It was in the name of my school. Fly. It was in, when I was in high school, when you sat in the cafeteria for lunch or for study hall or whatever, you were looking at the lake. When it was nice enough to go outside for gym class, you were looking at the lake. Our hour and a half bus ride, you went around the lake. It was just always there. So I think for me, I just kind of got used to it. But now, being this long since I've really come out and enjoyed it, yeah, it's really nice here. I mean, it's only a 3-mile trail, and it's one of few that are right around the lake. So there won't be a lot of other ones to explore. But it does make me want to grab my kayak and come out here like middle of the week, and especially now it's a little bit cooler, or maybe wait until like after Labor Day when it's a little cooler. A lot of people have packed up because it's Memorial Day is just right around the corner, so this place is gonna start hopping. But I might have to come back out here, do a little kayaking. First evidence of an old homestead up here. Old stone wall. I've kind of come up away from the water a little bit, but it looks like I'm out on a point because the water is now on my left, and it should also be over on my right. So I should be heading right for it. Ooh. Oh, those pines. It smells so nice. Oh, chipmunks. I'm not going to hurt you, chipmunk. Not sure what kind of pines these are. Maybe white pines? They're huge. Look at the size of this thing. I'm right up against it. That's a big tree. Let's see. Looks like the trail turns that way. Just kind of a little bit of a vista. Oh, there's a little ledge here. I guess if you really want to, you can get down to the water from here, but no snakes. I'm actually surprised. I'm probably going to jinx myself here, but I haven't seen any snakes yet this year. Have I? I don't think I have. don't think I've seen a single snake yet this year. This is giving me Florida vibes. Where I lived down in Florida, there was a lot of trails along freshwater lakes and stuff like this, and very similar feel. So what we're looking at right here is right out there. There's the dam. Let's see. Right around there somewhere is the high school. And then over there, I think that's the dam over there. It's kind of a weird bend in the lake. So high school's like maybe right out in there. Right in there. Not as easy to see as it used to be. It looks like this stone wall just ends here in the lake, but it just keeps on going. So the only thing I'd really point out about this trail is if you're doing it counterclockwise like I'm doing, as you get up to the top, you kind of get away from the water a little bit, you start to go through the stone walls. There is a spur trail that kind of goes straight, and the blue blaze goes to the left. That appears to just come down here, and it cuts out that point. I would highly suggest not cutting out the point. That is gorgeous down there. But if you're just out here for fishing and you're trying to get across it quicker, that's a nice shortcut. That was a really nice section. Because I passed the fisherman a little bit ago, and I didn't see him pass me while I was out there at the point. And I just came around the corner and I saw him ahead of me, and I'm like, how did he get ahead of me? And I saw that spur trail. I was like, okay, that's where that goes. So I'm about 2.25 miles in. I should at some point start heading up away from the lake and then back out towards the parking lot. I know it's only about 3 miles total, the trail. It might be a little bit longer for me because I've been taking some of these little side trails that dart down to the water. All right, so I am slowly veering away from the lakeside here, and this kind of opens up into a little bit of a forest road, or some kind of old access road, it looks like. I'm pretty sure they've only got about a half mile back to the car. Looks like I'm at 2.5 miles. So I think I'm on this for the remainder of the hike out there. All right, hike is over. 3.13 miles, and I did not rush. I still got it done in an hour and 44 minutes, and I took my time. So it's a really nice hike. I really do suggest doing it counterclockwise. Some of the information I found on this trail was from what's it called? Discover Pennsylvania? Uncovering Pennsylvania is called. Uncovering PA. And they suggested doing it counterclockwise. So definitely suggest doing it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you in the next.